Hi guys, this is Cher, the host of the most current with the current event wars that we're having. Just letting everybody know that yes, I'm safe and sound. We survived Irma. Um, we're up and running again. Even if I traveled throughout the country here, leaving storms, we're still gonna try to get you the equipment and everything to move around and give you updates from time to time. Of course, millions of people in Florida are trying to recover from Irma. The ones the most hurt were anything south of Fort Myers on the west coast of Florida, all the way down to the Keys. And I've got some really interesting information I need to show you guys on some items here. Um, yes, there's t-shirts out and things out on the market right now for those who have survived the storm. Um, for those that are still trying to get help, you have your list. You guys are very prepared this time. You guys did an awesome job helping each other and getting everything together as much as you can for everything that you had to do to get ready for the storm. Um, just an update that my father has taken on some damage on his house. My family, not so much. Let's see, what else do I have? I've got some very compelling evidence, basically proof, on some different things here that I need to show you guys on proof with Harvey. First of all, I'm going to go back to that. So, but thanks for tuning in my channel. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Okay. But there's a meteorologist on YouTube, and if you check it out, you know this guy and this weather station that he does weather on the channel with the First Alert 5, I believe it is. I'm not sure. I think it might be NBC or Fox. But check this video out here on YouTube. He actually slips up and basically says that the storm has been bottom line, that the storm has been steered. I also want to show you something too. The meteorologists are starting to slip up. Also, the reporters are slipping up as well. You guys really need to listen closely and don't have any other distractions. But they're actually giving clues out to the public on if it's man-made, if someone's steering it, and so on and so forth. Because what they're going to do from here on out is candy coat all storms. I don't care if it's for an earthquake, if it's for if it's for a hurricane or anything else. They're going to candy coat everything. Okay? Because they've got little earpieces and they're being told basically not to say everything. So it's kind of like a media blackout situation. So be advised of that. Listen extremely closely, not just for maybe directions on any event that may be happening from here on out in the future, okay, and things that to do, but be aware of the surroundings on any reporters that are saying anything, because there's media blackout on a lot of this information, and there's going to be a lot of stuff that's not going to be told, and they're going to candy coat it. Now, let me go back to here. Wait a minute. I want to see if... Alright, this is the track here for Irma. Or no. Yeah, Irma. Okay. And, alright, this is first storm alert 5 here on this. So I want you to keep track of this. And if you find this video online, I want you guys to find it, okay? Because you need to listen to him, because in this particular video, they rewind what he says, and it's really important that you catch these little phrases. Also here, this is going back to Harvey. They were in Texas here when this reporter reported on Harvey. They were at, this guy is basically a person here in this video that was a homeless person. He's in with other people that are homeless, and this is the reporter that also interviewed him. I want you guys to listen closely what he said.
Live broadcast.
I'm going to sit down here with Jake, who's got his dog Bubba. Jake, who is homeless. Jake, you found yourself some shelter here. Why are you outside for this entire hurricane?
Well, I chose not to go inside yesterday because the Salvation Army and Russian Winds homeless shelter, where they were accepting people, were caught killing everybody that was in there.
Let's listen to that again.
Well, I chose not to go inside yesterday because the Salvation Army and Russian Winds homeless shelter, where they were accepting people, were caught killing everybody that was in there.
So they want to help them.
So I want you guys heard that, right? Be careful what shelters you go into. That was a Salvation Army shelter, okay? And they were caught killing people, the guy said, okay? They were caught killing the people that went in the shelter. So be very careful of that. Whether this story was true or not, it evidently is, because it was on NBC. And NBC did not black that out. That kind of slipped out. So be careful of that. There's a lot of really strange situations going on right now. I'm going to try to take you back to this meteorologist. I believe he might have been an NBC affiliate. I'm not sure. But I want you to listen to his terminology.
Models don't control the weather.
You hear that? Models don't control the weather. Again,
It's the attempt to keep up with what's going on, calculate it, and regenerate another projection. Now, the storm itself has not really changed what it's doing. What has
okay? So models don't control the weather.
Our day-to-day assessment and projection. So whatever this says doesn't control the storm.
He says the models don't control the weather.
Now the models don't control the weather. Don't control the weather.
And then he explains it's the attempt to keep up with what's going on and regenerate another projection. Why would it occur to anyone that these computer-generated models were controlling the weather? Then he's
Okay? Now, you heard that, right? Why would these models control the weather? Does this mean this meteorologist slipped up and shown proof that the storms have been governmentally manipulating to basically control these storms through a computer program or some other form of electronics or energy?
he says this.
Now the storm itself has not really changed what it's doing. What has changed is our day-to-day assessment and projection. So whatever this says doesn't control the storm. Whatever this says doesn't control the storm.
So whatever this says doesn't control the storm? I have never heard a weatherman try so hard to assure his audience that his projection maps don't control the storm. With all the
So right there is your clue, okay? The weathermen are all candy coating this any kind of weather situation. I don't care if it's tornado, hurricane, tropical storm, tropical depression, earthquake, tornado, whatever. okay? They're candy coating it because they're using terminologies that a lot of people are not aware of. So this is why we're bringing it out to you guys. They're making it aware of, and I'm busting it now, right now, because enough's enough, okay? They are controlling the weather. There is tons of proof on YouTube. There's tons of proof through the media of NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, whatever. Everything is out there on all media outlets. And this means news media outlets. They're actually slipping up and showing proof that all this is true, okay? And at the same time, they're changing their programs to keep it hidden, okay, on the other end of it. But I also want to show you something else here too. Let me see if I can bring it over here. So you heard that. Listen very closely of their stuff. Yeah. All right. The other thing is, okay, we've got this storm here. We've got Maria. And I've taken 3 far-fetched weather models. And as you can see, it's taken the same path as Irma, doing the same thing where it goes directly over Puerto Rico. And I want to show you something over Puerto Rico. Okay, this is Puerto Rico right here. Okay, and that is in the center of the cone. Okay, that's exactly the same scenario as Irma. Okay, don't trust this so much and that so much, but in the center of it. Okay, because that's the center of it, and that center can constantly move west. Here's the thing, we're still in hurricane season. All hurricanes, from what I'm seeing in the path, have actually moved more westward than going true north. They'll say, oh yeah, it's just going to curl up like Jose and go north. Well, Jose was in a different position than this. Okay? Plus, Jose was just kept on spinning and chasing his tail, where Maria has caught him past him, and Jose's way up here, you know, in the eastern part of the United States, but now here's the other. Here's the situation though. Puerto Rico is right here. Irma went over Puerto Rico the same way. Irma went over the northern part of Dominica Republica the same way. Right here on the tip, right where the actual beach area is. And at this point in time, they actually said, oh yeah, it's going to go ahead and start turning north. You've got to watch between this model and this model, not this one. This model and this model, because it depends on how much of that pressure, high pressure, and how much warmth the oceans are for it to go north. And if behind it, it has a low pressure to push it that way. So be very careful and watch the storm. Like I tell everybody, keep prepared. Keep your stuff on your windows. And I would advise, there's going to be some very funky stuff happening this year with all these storms. And I forecast that you guys need to keep everything prepared as you're ready to go at any moment, at any time for anything. Just like you were in Irma. Keep your windows boarded up. Keep your food stock and water stock constantly topped off, right along with your gas stock. Okay? And like I say, the media is starting to not, or going to candy coat, basically, the storms. Yes, they're going to say, oh yeah, they're going to keep you informed and say, okay, it's going to go here and here and here, and they'll have like 10 different types of spaghetti models, and, you know, they don't know what's going on. Well, yeah, they do know what's going on, because everything is being programmed, or not programmed, but being diverted and controlled, basically, to where they want to do it. And I'll get into other videos later on why this is happening, and why they want you, or why they want these events to happen. Okay? But I have to show you something here. I don't know if everybody can see this or not. I'm hoping you can, maybe. But right here is an actual physical picture that I have taken with my phone. Okay? 3 to 4 days before Irma came up on the west coast of Florida. And as you see here, there's many, many chemtrails. And what I found was interesting is this one right here. Whoops. I don't know if you can see close up right here. See that chemtrail? Landing all the way down. That is a canister chemtrail. Okay. This is the sun. See the sun at that time when I taken the picture? And another chemtrail here. Okay. I got to show you another one here that I've taken a more close-up type situation of, if I can get to it. This one here was over my neighbor's house. There's many chemtrails. Many. And it's in the southwest Florida area. It was not in an eastern situation. I've actually taken also to a compass reading while things were happening too. Okay. So that's that. Also too, I need to show you, if I can find it, give me a minute here. I will have information for you guys. Just hold tight here. Give me a minute. But, alright. Now, this is roughly a week after, the next picture I'm going to show you is a week after Hurricane Irma went through. And I'm going to blow this up as best I can. We can see this little chemtrail here. But you see this right here? That is an X. X marks the spot, meaning that this is a code that they finished their job. Okay? They finished their job and X marks the spot. I'm going to blow it up even further if you can see it. But this is taken roughly 7 days after the storm. And this is over southwest Florida. The further south I went, it actually started coming up above my head between Fort Myers and Naples area. Meaning that, that was the hardest hit. So X marks the spot that they did what they did. And now they concluded their seeding and all is well. Okay? So I hope you guys can see that right here. That's an X. If you see that in the sky, that means the job is complete. That is their code. The job is complete. Okay? And those were taken in southwest Florida, live from my camera. And I just want to let everybody be aware, because even the people that are dropping this stuff are giving out clues as well, that it's happening. The proof is there. And so on and so forth. Alright, next, let me go into this. This next thing that I'm going to show you is an actual scientist, but he's also a pilot. And this pilot has actually done the same thing where they basically said that, yes, they are cloud seeding, and they are using it.
Some clouds respond only to a limited degree, maybe one or two instances when cloud didn't respond as we had hoped, probably because we got to them too late.
And when you say they responded very well, what does that mean?
It means that the storm lived longer and produced more rain over a larger area.
And how do we know that it did that? I mean, what if you hadn't seeded? I mean,
Good question. We know that because we systematically analyze on a given day clouds that are seeded, and we compare their behavior with similar clouds in areas adjacent to the target area that were not seeded. And we compare the behavior of the two sets, the treated and the unseeded. And we've been doing that for about 10 years now.
So you hear that, right? That is proof positive that the government has been seeding the clouds. These are different people that are involved with the programs, and they change. All the programs for Seeding the Clouds change in different code names, probably every 6 months to a year. Which means Seeding the Clouds means everything that you see in lines are not just, they're not jet vapors. Okay? Those are the actual chemicals that they are dropping down to steer the storm. And they are steering it, like I say, with lasers. And lasers are coming from, like you said, the HARP program. You can go to his video to see more of this. It's called Documents. Go to YouTube and it says Documents Prove Government Use Cloud Seeding to Amplify Hurricane Harvey. But it's not just Hurricane Harvey, it's all hurricanes. Okay? It's not only happening with hurricanes, but it's also happening with G3 to G5 tornadoes as well. Okay? So the government, here, there's plenty of proof that the government is manipulating weather. A lot of reasons why they're manipulating it is because a lot of the farmers on crops need water for their farms. And when they go through a drought, like Texas would go through a drought season, they would actually purposely create these clouds that would cause enough rain to help finish and furnish enough of these farmers with the water that they need. Let me see if I can go further with this video here, because there's other stuff I need you to see. I think yeah, here it is right here. I'm going to blow this up and hopefully you guys can read this. But what I want you guys to see on this next thing here is an actual document, an avionic document, where...
Waiting times reports.
Yeah, let me stop this.
Fired 6.
Alright, if you go here on the left side and look at the document over there, this is an actual physical document that is posted before Harvey. And this is a document showing where they seeded at. It gives the actual location on Earth where they started seeding, how much they did it for how long they did it for, and other locations that they did it within the region. So you can look at this as well on YouTube. And this is actually released by the avionic people here on this document. Let me go back and I'll look at this and see if I can find it here. No. Alright, so it is an avionic document basically, but you can look for that too. Look for on YouTube before Hurricane Harvey cloud seeding document, and it will come up that way, and you'll find that proof as well. And this is a paper proof that someone got a hold of. I don't think it's a public situation, but someone got a hold of it. It was released on YouTube, and they basically posted it and showed it and read it and all that on YouTube. So you can check that out too as well. So much to cover, guys. So much to cover. Alright. Keep listening. If you like my channel, please click and subscribe and pass the word on. But subscribe and, share my link to my channel and especially my videos here. That'd be my best help. People support me on the cause is share my link on the channels and stuff here and on the videos that you see. Alright, let me see if I can get this one updated. There we go. That looks like a close-up. Here, let me see if I can pull that one up for you guys. Maybe. It looks like it wants to. Yep. Alright, here we go. Alright, so this is from Transpeco's Weather Modification Association in Pescos, Ertal, Texas. This is a seeding report for August 2017, and it says in the conditions they're looking for a flow aloft will work in conjunction with the abundant surface of moisture to help initiate showers and storms, and that is underlined, to help initiate showers and storms. It appears the best shot will be across western sections of the Trans-Pecos where the weak dry line is set up. So basically they go into this and what's going on with the mechanism of what they're going to do. It actually gives you a breakdown of the freezing level, the precipitation of water, and everything else with a cloud base and meter, how big the cloud is, warm cloud depth. They have everything in measurement, including the temperatures of the clouds. Then it says in discussion here, they go into a discussion about the situation in that area and what they're doing. And it says, in Culberson and Reeves County, Texas, the storm was nudged forward into Reeves County, which proves a small window for seeding opportunity. And all this is underlined. And then it says, we took it to fire 2 dosages of glyconic genetic flare. Dot pilot was getting into some heavy embedded cloud covering / virga, and it says we'll move off the northeast to the north where the development was ongoing. And then it says they still put out another dose of seeding that took place, and that was underlined. So they fired 2 flares here. This is confirmation they did 2 flares, and they took seeding at least 3 times into the clouds. Okay, and then down here they give it at what time of night this happened. It was at 9:15 at night. So they're taking planes at nighttime to seed the clouds. So when you wake up in the morning, if you see a streak through the sky, that means they did this overnight and it's still lingering in that area. Or maybe by that time you might have rain in the morning and you might not be able to see it. Also too, they're showing over here all the areas in Texas that basically was done, and this document is proof the government used weather manipulation. I can understand the farmers need water, but to harm millions of lives to make the farmer water, to me, is wrong by the government standpoint. They should be held accountable, and I think a class action lawsuit against the government should be formed for all people that are involved as victims by manipulation of any storms, and I don't care what, or natural disasters, and that includes hurricanes, tsunamis, tornadoes, earthquakes, whatever, because there's tons of proof that a class action lawsuit can be formed with the proof that's showing up on the web that they're creating all this and killing lives because of it. And it's just my 2 cents, and 2 cents is not worth much. So just food for thought, I guess you'd say, as the farmers would say. All right, so on to the next thing. I think, like I say, you can take your own thing, but I think the more people that get my video out and pass it on to the web, we need to get the word out that the government is manipulating water. If they're that stupid enough to manipulate water that way, and they refuse to build reverse osmosis plants through all beachfront areas of the United States to create enough water for the farmers, or even go into terraforming, okay, then they evidently don't know, and I need everyone out there in public as a team to get the word out that this is the wrong way of getting water. We need to get out terraforming farms, and we need to get out reverse osmosis plants throughout the United States, as well as other countries that have severe weather anomalies like this. Yes, you can blame it on the solar flares. Solar flares do play a factor to intensify it, but if they create it, it's created to create water doing it this way, but can be out of control with the solar flares as well. Again, I've been researching this stuff and many global anomalies and ancient civilizations and stuff like this for some time. I'm not an expert, but I have done research for probably since 81, if not earlier, on certain topics. I do know this, the technology for reverse osmosis is out there. It is within reach. All we have to do is ask Denmark special scientists to help us out to make these. It would not only create revenue by selling the water, even overseas as a commodity, but we'd make money on the market as well. But actual plants itself and all the materials needed to build a plant, you would be making money on it. And then at that time, you wouldn't have such a severe thing on your storms. I mean, I can understand creating weather, because we're going through a dry spell or a drought situation like Texas did, but they shouldn't be doing it at the height of hurricane season. If they're going to do something, then let them do it in the winter months for the southern states. Like January, February, maybe. And then that way it wouldn't be such a severe blow to the population. It's all about how to control and the intelligence enough to be able to control it at a time period where the weather isn't unusually out of control at that particular season. It's the same thing when you see nor'easters on the east coast of the United States. I know during the wintertime they always get hit with these severe nor'easters. Okay? All around from here all the way up, because the same scenario happens. They have a hurricane. See, during the summer months, if anything, they should be steering it and having their little rigs up over here and steering it right into the East Coast during the summer months, because then that way it helps cool them off with a breeze, gives them the water that they need, and all that. And then that way during the wintertime they'll be having no snow and it's all good to go. No nor'easter type of winter storms. Just my thought there. So anyway, beware of the media. They're candy coating everything. They're not going to tell you the truth. You guys need to do your own searching on your news places. And they're going to hype certain things like the Weather Channel so that they make more money on the revenue on their commercials and their people like that. But also too, let me see, I'm going to talk about as well why they do this in my next video. Why do they create weather anomalies? For what reason? What are they going to gain from it? So stay tuned for my next video. Thanks for watching this one. Click and subscribe. Share the video with your friends and tell them to subscribe, because that's how you guys can support us. And you're listening to Share, the host with the most, with the current event wars. Thanks. Have a great day.